So, today we're going to expose the worst type of person.
The type of person that advocates for the abuse of children.
The type of person that wishes they could harm a child and wants us to believe they're choosing to ignore their natural desire to do exactly that.
This was a collaboration between many dedicated content creators who've worked very hard to present this information to you.
So, sit back and get a bottle of bleach.
Or some straight moonshine, because you're going to want to kill your brain cells after this.
But it's for the right reasons, of exposing the worst kind of people out there, pedosexuals.
Get it right, Mama Meat Flaps. Just say pedophiles.
So, take it away, Runnin' Guns!
Many people have been working on a joint investigative and collaboration effort to expose a little group called Heart Progress. But this is a very large group and it's growing every day, which that in itself should be alarming. However, with the combined efforts of our collaboration team, the efforts of Honeybee as well as the internet community as a whole, we did manage to uncover some very interesting information that has been presented to the proper authorities. Today we'd like to expose one of the founding members of Heart Progress to show you that this group is not as altruistic as they claim to be. Today, we're talking about James Siracusa, also known as Daniel Gaither, also known as Jenny Lover 83, also known as Nick Martinez, and possibly James Carter, and who knows what other aliases he's used. Oh, and before anyone from James' family claims that is someone impersonating him, then let me ask you this. Since when does an identity thief go to great lengths to protect their victims' reputations?
If you guys don't know, last night I was threatened physically and verbally by the sister of Jamie. Now, first of all, I want to set the record straight. I reached out to Jamie 5 days ago on Twitter and said that a pedophile advocacy group was using his picture to promote their agenda. And I was ignored. Okay, I didn't just come out with this video trying to destroy someone's life. I reached out to Jamie first. Okay, he was active on Twitter. It wasn't like he didn't know. I was ignored. Secondly, 2 days ago, I confronted Daniel Gaither on his YouTube page and referred to him as Jamie. And I said, "Are you ready to get doxxed?" And he replied, "If you put any personal information online, I will arrest you." He said, "I will arrest you. You've been warned." I referred to him as Jamie. The problem with the rants from last night coming from his sister, Kayla Martin, I've taken down videos before. I've edited videos before. People have reached out to me via email. I'm not a bad person. I'm not trying to destroy anybody's life here. I'm trying to expose this fucking pedophile group that is culling people that agree with them, whether or not they're trolls, whether or not the people running the actual Heart Progress pages are trolls. There are lots of followers that are people that agree with what they say. That is the danger. This is how the agenda gets spread. Okay, and Kayla, the issue is not with me. I am not the enemy here. I am not the criminal here. If there's somebody using your brother's picture and it's a pedophile advocacy group, wouldn't you want to look into them? Why are you calling me a wacko and a lunatic and an asshole and physically threatening me? Why didn't you just write me an email? My email's right on YouTube. You can totally reach me. And your actions make me suspicious. I do this for kids. I do this to protect children. Okay, and all of the stuff that happened after I reached out to Jamie, Daniel Gaither's picture changed. Yesterday, the Nick Martinez official website went down, and now it's back up. The Google Plus page went down, and now it's back up. All different addresses. You don't think that that's suspicious?
Jamie, who in fact has a daughter of his own, but has no problem talking about how he just adores the anuses of little boys and girls, wants you to believe that he never has and never will act on his desire to molest children. Please make a mental note that he has a desire to molest children. But I guess we're just pedophobes, and we should just check our privilege. After all, our progress claims to be about love, progress, and sex with children. We must be the ones misunderstanding what they're about. You know what? Fuck that. This founder of Heart Progress belongs in a prison cell where Big Tyrone can teach him what love is.
I
So who is this Jamie Sarikasanu? How does he operate? Well, due to the safety of his person and to not compromise the investigation that we hope will take place very soon, we cannot give out his personal information. No, sorry, I won't dox. I can't let the mob mentality get unleashed on him and then him not be brought to justice, because then we can't find his little friends he does have that are not sock accounts. So, let's talk about Jamie Socks. No, not those socks. Sock accounts, aka as in sock puppets, and how he operates with them. I'm just going to show proof that Jamie Sarikasanu is all the major players himself in Heart Progress, and more than likely one huge supporter and activist. So, Jamie Sarikasanu is also Jenny Lover 83, who is also Daniel Gaither, Nick Martinez, and more. So this is how you prove it. If you reverse Google image search the profile picture used by Jenny Lover 83, who is an active commenter on YouTube videos and alike standing up for pedosexuality, you can see the origins of this picture are from Daniel Gaither, the leader of Heart's Progress, and Daniel Gaither's original photo he used as a profile picture before the hands were used can be reversed image searched, and you get to Jamie Sarikasanu. They are all three the same person. Also, Nick Martinez is the name of the original pedo site that got taken down, that is being run strictly and only by Daniel Gaither. As far as we can tell, Nick Martinez is just an alias for Jamie Sarikasanu. Also, you have the curious case of James Carter. You remember me, James Carter? Said I was gonna get you that help. Who in this picture you see James Sarikasanu and then Eugene Caldwell, who is the man who married Jamie's ex-wife, and Daniel Simmons. Look at Daniel Simmons. He looks very familiar, doesn't he? He seems to look exactly like an older version of our dear friend James Carter. Well, look at these two known photos of James Carter. Then get a little creative and, I don't know, add glasses, maybe a hat. You see, right here there's an ear lump in the picture of James Carter that was used as a profile picture on Twitter, but it is no longer in the obviously older picture of him that is used in the James Carter Google profile picture, so it must have been removed. I think that's one thing that was throwing people off. So, looks like James Sarikasanu decided to take a picture of his ex-wife's dad, that's who Daniel Simmons is, and used it for the James Carter sock account, and make him a gay activist for pedosexuality, maybe out of spite for his ex-wife, even though, as far as we know, they live together? Or maybe it's just a little dig or something at him? I'm not sure, but it's still pretty shitty. How bad of a person do you have to be to live in the same house as your ex-wife and her newer husband, and then make a sock account of your ex-wife's father? Seriously, that is really low. Mind you, this man is now something like 73 years old, and as far as we can tell, Daniel Simmons is a good grandfather and a nice old man. Good way to try to get an old man hurt.
Now, we do have quite a bit of damning information on him, and we're gaining more intelligence every single day. After all, we did promise to get him, and those like him, the help they need, and there's no better help than the kind of help they're going to receive from a psychologist appointed to them by the Department of Prisons. If you'd also like to help those poor misunderstood souls find their soulmates in prison, then please send in the information that you find to our tip email listed below in the description. Having extra eyes and ears out there always helps. We will make sure the feds have little to no work when getting their indictments all typed up for Mr. James Sarikasanu, and for those just like him. Oh, and a word to the wise, and to anyone else out there who are searching for these perverted fuckwits, whatever you do, please do not harass or even harm one of these disgusting kiddie fiddlers. I get how you feel, and I've had these same thoughts that most of you have. But if just one of these shit stains, let's say, ends up dead or something like that, then we risk turning this group's quest into a crusade. Right now, the LGBT community is very reluctant to help these pedophiles. If you give these pedistrats any victim points, then those circumstances could change drastically. It's far better to let Big Tyrone handle these things, in my opinion. Oh, and remember not to scare these bottom feeders away. We don't want them running underground, since we'd much rather have them running from Big Tyrone. Not to forget that your actions could very well disrupt or even ruin an ongoing investigation by law enforcement. So if you really want to get these people, then go with the option they fear the most: the loss of freedom. Now, I'm very excited that we found quite a bit of information on these sickos. Everything from the use of fake avatars and personas and much, much more. But I'll take my own advice and not to scare them away by doxing any of their personal information to the public. All I will say is that some of these twerps were really stupid as to how they chose to hide themselves. I would like to assure you that we will not be careless with the information we have found and will continue to find. Only a very select few of us have access to this information anyway. We're not looking to harass anyone, but we are aiming to take their freedom away from them by cooperating with the authorities. Once again, if you have any skills that could help expedite the inevitable imprisonment of these perverse monsters, then you can do it in one of the following ways. Get screen captures of everything these pedophiles say and do on social media sites. Analyze their videos for patterns and clues that could lead to their whereabouts. This, of course, means media forensic, geographical profiling investigation, and even social engineering. And please remember to screen capture, record, and save everything, no matter how small you may think it is. At the rate these sites and social media profiles are being shut down, just setting a bookmark is not necessarily a guarantee that the same information will be available the next day. So remember to make copies of everything. Oh, and whatever you do, please do not try to infiltrate their groups if you have no experience in doing so. You have to understand that you may be walking into a dragnet, or should I be saying a sting operation, that could very well land you in prison yourself. Make sure the law enforcement knows what you're up to before you do anything.
Hey James, you remember me, right? The alien probing your life, heart, mind, and spirit? The alien that you blocked on every social media platform that you can find me on? The alien that, alongside many others, that have infiltrated your public safe space and private safe spaces? Don't worry, Pumpkin. We did promise that help is on the way, and it is on the way. But I would still like to address your sadistic pedo-trolling in the comment sections of content creators who shared their negative abuse experiences as children during the past few weeks. You see, it's not just a political narrative that you're trying to spin, this is also about your pride. You're proud of being a pedophile, and to take that pride to the extent of outright accusing abuse victims of lying, or simply being responsible for the abuse they suffered as children, is completely sadistic and maniacal.
But lastly, this one is for James. Hi. You know, I couldn't make a video without mentioning your comments. Do we begin with you saying that I was lying about being molested and raped? When someone else says that, like, hey, I was molested and raped, oh, you're a liar. Show me proof. You're asking me to provide personal information about abuse that I went through. Should we talk about those burner phones that you say that you use to make social media accounts because they can't be tracked, but you're not doing anything wrong? If you're not doing anything wrong, why are your accounts being taken down, James? Oh, that's right, because you're promoting pedophilia, something that's illegal and immoral. Like, I'm not sure if you're trolling or if you're just really that fucking retarded at this point. Because how are you going to go from saying that you're going to physically harm somebody, saying that they deserve your harassment because they disagree with you, and then turn around and cry about people silencing you by getting your Twitter accounts, websites, Facebook pages all taken down? You're promoting pedophilia.
I was hoping I could put this behind me, not because I don't want to fight this slimy, disgusting organization that wants to legalize the traumatizing of children, but because it's taken an emotional toll on me. I see now I can't just make a video and walk away. Not while there are people out there trying to make their perversions in regards to children legal. Let's call it what it is, pedophilia. But before I start, to those who are seeking help for this deviant behavior, may you find peace and a path out of the darkness. To James Carter, Jenny Lover, Sarah Casano, whoever you want to be today, who kept trying to say I was lying about what happened to me and constantly tried to poke holes in my testimony about my molestation, you're a sick, sick man. I had to do research I didn't want to do and read things that brought back the trauma and gave me sleepless nights. I did actual research, psychology reports and criminal statistical data, not damn Wikipedia, which is a joke for research and materials to cite from. You think you're this big researcher when you couldn't even find the difference between your ass and a hole in the ground. I have tried to see it your way with your wiki link and the way you talk big in my comment section in Osabears, but I can't fit my head that far up my ass. I'm not that limber. The fact is, pedophiles are sick. Pedophiles who engage in pedophilia are the lowest of the human condition. They are the scum you wipe off the bottom of your shoe when you step in animal scat. I am glad we found you. Now we can expose you for the abhorrent, twisted, and demented individual you are. And how dare you try to attach yourself to LGBT, a movement that's been trying to get acceptance and fight for respect and to be treated equally. How dare you try to change the pansexual to pedosexual. God, even saying that word makes me want to take a damn shower. Active pedophiles will never be accepted in society. Never. As far as you trying to make me look as if I wrote a piece of fiction when I was literally crying while writing my testimony, you're the example of a fetid piece of humanity. Before I go, there's one thing I want you to do. Take your cock and shove it up your ass.
Oh, James. Aside from your twisted perversions, you're 16 cans short of a six-pack, which puts you in the negative. I've never met anyone with an IQ that was actually in the red before. But it's okay, baby cakes. I'm going to play devil's advocate and say that you're 100% correct when it comes to your perception of consensual sex. Which means that when you get assigned your prison uniform and you meet your bunkmate for the first time, then we can all assume that your cries for help as Tyrone passionately thrusts into your anus are just cries for pleasure. Oh, and any busted lips or puffy black eyes you may receive will be seen as Tyrone's beautiful sexuality manifesting itself in the form of blunt force passion.
Jenny Lover 83. Now this guy has various profiles, and he is the one that scares me the most almost, and I'm sure he's getting a hard on over the fact I've just said that. Because this one has already offended, or is certainly going to offend pretty soon as an opportunist. This guy, Jenny Lover 83, is his profile, and his profile is of an adult hand and a young child's hand clasping it, okay? His name is Daniel Gavers, Nick Martinez, and Jamie Siracusano. 3 aliases. I wonder why he'd need 3 aliases. I wonder. Was pretty much advocating prostituting his own very, very young 1-year-old child out. I saw the picture of your child in the playgroup with lots of, ink on them, paint on them and that, but I saw the bruises you were covering up, or what looked like bruises. They suspiciously look like bruises. Now I could be wrong. Let's read some of his weird, sick tweets. A 4-year-old can get 26 orgasms with 12 hours of sexual intercourse. Daniel touched on the fact when he was interacting with me that he was tempted to abuse his own children. Yeah, I know. But his remark to this was, well, no crime happened. I only fought it. You can't do me for thought crimes. Alright, fair point. But what sick fuck parent thinks about harming their own children or fiddling with their own children? I mean, it's okay now, he says they're teenagers, so, So if you ever have any more children, but I saw the website you put up, which has been closed down, by the way, and is under investigation. I don't know if that's gone through yet or what, but, yeah, you were trying to sell your child, man, to fucking do these awful things. Remember, this is the face of such a person. But this is the one to watch for. This is the one that will, and freely admits he will. It's what's inside that counts,
The more information and evidence we have ensures to put them away for a long time. And if they ever were to be released, they would be rightfully branded as sex offenders with nowhere to hide. We appreciate your efforts, and remember that all the information gained will also expose their corruption and the disingenuous message of hard progress. I would like to also take this moment to thank everyone within our circles as well as outside of our circles who have helped in this fight to protect our children. No matter how big or small the information seems to be, everything helps, and the contributions we've all made will continue to keep our kids safe. Well, it's time for me to go.
Hey Liz, I gotta go anyway. I have an appointment at a hair salon in the Rocky Mountains where I can gaither my thoughts. Catch you later!
Peace out, guys.